Obviously has a connection to the Phillies because of his dad, Bob. Grew up at Veterans Stadium, basically rolling around the turf at the Vet. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury to lead things off. Ellsbury last year at .264 with 7 home runs, 39 runs batted in. He still has $68 million left on his contract with the Yankees. Now the first pitch of the ball game was taken outside, so we're underway. But they have a plethora of outfielders in camp this year. Popped up foul over the Phil's dugout, and it's 1-1.
He's a guy that the Yankees would love to see in there every day if providing his health is where it needs to be.
I think Aaron Boone's optimistic, but again, there are a lot of guys that are on this roster. They've got Judge, they've got Stanton, they've got Brett Gardner, they've got Aaron Hicks. To the right side, past Tommy Joseph, and a base hit for Jacoby Ellsbury. So he's aboard to start the first inning. So Torres coming up. Gleyber Torres last year hit .309 at AAA and hit .273 at AA Trenton with 5 home runs and 18 runs batted in.
Right side corner, strike zone.
Oh, 1.
He didn't get cheated on that one, did he, Tom?
No, he did not. Another beautiful day, sort of record-breaking heat in this area the last several days. It's going to break next week, they think, but it'll take us through the next couple of afternoons. Means Ben's going to have to find himself some more long-sleeve shirts to wear. Ellsbury last year stole 22 bases. Is there a schedule for base stealers, Ben, when they start running in spring training?
I wouldn't say there's necessarily a schedule. Feel you get a jump, have at it.
Breaking ball spins outside.
I always like when guys ran in spring training, gave me something to do, work on your throwing. Didn't go against your stats.
Well, unless the game's televised, we could say that so-and-so has stolen 3 bases against Ben Davis today.
It was always on the pitcher, Tom.
Just a bit low. Tom Hallion's the home plate umpire today. You'll hear him if he has a strike 3 call. There he is. Eric Cooper is over at first base. Dan Iassogna is at second. Sean Barber is at third, and Vic Carapazza has the day off today. Fastball in there, 2-2.
Pitch at 94. You'd like to see that early on in spring.
No
Not
question.
that velocity is everything, but Aaron must be feeling pretty good.
Well, the thing about Aaron Nola is that you saw his velocity pick up as the season went on. Obviously, he was dealing with back issues, and once he strengthened all of those, he was able to use his legs even more. Little looper over the head of Michael Franco down the left field line. Ellsbury's on his way to third. Ball bobbled by Williams. That enables not only Ellsbury to get to third, but Torres to get to second. And the Yanks have second and third with nobody out. Was not a terrible pitch.
Had him out in front. That breaking ball. His body goes forward, but he's able to keep his hands back, and that is the key to hitting. Aggressive base running there by Ellsbury. Put pressure on the defense.
That'll bring Greg Bird up. Bird so far 0 for 2 in spring training games with a strikeout. The Yankees have won their first 2 games of the spring. Swing and a miss.
Good change up there by Aaron. And the Phillies early on employing the shift with Bird up, 3 on the right side.
Later on today, we will see Scott Kingery play a little shortstop for the Phillies. J.P. Crawford is starting at shortstop for today's game. We'll probably see him play 5 innings. Gabe Kapler has let us know who some of the players are that will be coming in later on in the rotation. I think we're all anxious to see Scott Kingery at shortstop. A lot of fellows in the dugout.
Plenty to choose from.
Yeah. A lot of guys hanging out today. 0-2 pitch. Down low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noah's facing a Yankees team. Now, this isn't the Yankee team that he'll face later on this year when the Phils and the Yanks get together. That was 3rd in the American League in hitting at 262, but 1st in home runs with 241. And I would think that that number is probably going to be pressed a little bit this year.
What gave you that impression?
I mean, they did trade away Starlin Castro, but
you know, along with all those home runs go an awful lot of strikeouts.
Very true.
But middle of that lineup will be very formidable.
Oh, yeah. Noah's looking for a strikeout here with the count 1-2. He got it to the kitchen of Bird, who fouls it away. He wants to throw a changeup here to try to get the strikeout. I think he wants to run the 2-seamer off the hip.
Back foot breaking ball. Yep.
And a breaking ball called strike 3. Well, he certainly knew what he wanted to throw.
That one just locked Bird up.
Oh, yeah.
Good location, not going to get hurt. Bird just gave up on it.
Here's Aaron Hicks. Hicks so far has walked in spring training in a couple plate appearances. Overall last year 266. 15 home runs, 52 runs batted in. That was in 88 games. Broke his bat, pops it up toward third base. Michael fighting the side. He can't get it. And that'll drop for a base hit. Well, that's a shame because that was a wonderful pitch.
Go down as a single, but here, Aaron Nola, you're right, Tom. You have to be happy about the pitch he just executed. Fastball in. And this was not good from the get-go.
No, and it wasn't hit that high, which is kind of odd that you saw him struggle like that. But once he lost it, he could never find the angle to get it back out of the sun. Well, here is Austin Romine. Played at 80 games last year with the Yanks. Hit 218.
Very good receiver. Get a ball on the ground here. Get out of here.
Right corner. Right.
Breaking ball hit foul, and it's 0-1. I'm entertained, Ben, by whoever the gentleman is behind home plate that is giving pitch location to the Yankee hitters. He doesn't know what's coming, if it's a changeup, a fastball, or a curveball, but he's letting them know where the pitch is going.
It's either Thurman Munson, Don Mattingly, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge.
Well, he's wrong on that one. He called low and away. It was inside. Here's Ellsbury at third base. Torres at second base. And Hicks is around at first. And the count 0-2 to Austin Romine. Aaron Nola and Andrew Knapp trying to get on the same page here in the first inning.
Go right back in there. Good firm fastball.
Fastball swung on and missed. At the second strikeout of the day for Aaron Nola. So 2 outs and the bases loaded.
I'd like to see Aaron elevate right there. That's a pitch that looks so good. Can't get on top of it. A good finish on that fastball right there.
I think that's what's standing out to me is his command and the finish on his pitches, and this is first spring training. Danny Espinosa was just recently signed by the Yankees. 0 for 3 so far this spring. A little different stance than what we're normally used to with Danny Espinosa. Always an outstanding defender when he was with the Washington Nationals. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's really kind of been offensively an all or nothing kind of guy.
Yep.
You see why right there. That's a healthy hack.
But if he can hit a little bit, he can play shortstop, second base, or third base and play it really well.
That arm will play anywhere. Very strong arm.
Tied him up, 1-2. We may only see Aaron Nola pitch a little bit of the second inning if he gets out of this one here, but he is fighting his way through. A couple of blue pits by the Yankees and a ground ball base hit to right, and the bases are loaded, but a couple of strikeouts, and he's 1 pitch away now of getting out of it. Just missed a bit high.
But I like the fact that he doubled up in there.
Cole Urban is warming up with the bullpen. Off the end of the bat down the right field line. It's going to drop in for a base hit. It'll be an extra base hit and should clear the bases for the Yankees as Espinosa is going to wind up at second, thinking about 3. The throw to third base on 1 hop is in time. So a 3-run double for Espinosa gives the Yankees a 3-0 lead here at the top of the first inning. 3 runs on 4 hits, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the first. ERA of 3.88 for the Yankees, 155 in the third innings. You know, watching a lot of the Yankee games from afar, I thought this kid did a nice job last year.
Yeah, I like his stuff. It plays here in the big leagues, and being left-handed actually helps. He's a 4th-round pick back in 2014. 91 to 95, change, curveball, and slider. Big kid.
Well, he'll face Roman Quinn, J.P. Crawford, and Nick Williams to start things off. Roman Quinn is going to be an interesting story this spring, just to watch him play and stay healthy. We're watching him in center field today, which is really his most natural position. But his arm does play in the other outfield positions, and he's taking some ground balls at first base to try to, or on the infield, I should say, third base and shortstop and second, just to show his versatility as he takes inside. Sure, he could play a little first base, but he might be a little small for that. Roman played winter ball this year just because he was coming back from the torn UCL in his non-throwing elbow. And he hit 118 in limited time.
Montgomery really over the top, huh?
Ground ball foul. Fast Dusty Wathan. Montgomery 6'6", 228 pounds, 25 years old. Turned 25 this past December. He's a homegrown kid. The Yankees took him in the 4th round out of the University of South Carolina. Began his college career as a lefty specialist before he developed into being a starting pitcher. To the right side. And one away here at the bottom of the first. And here comes J.P. Crawford, who had a couple hits yesterday. Unless something drastic happens, we're assuming that J.P. will be the everyday shortstop in Philadelphia this year. My thought is that he may find himself batting second an awful lot in the lineup. And partly because of his patience, his ability to take a lot of pitches. Gabe Kapler peeking in. Ball boy noticed that Phil's needed some more baseball, so he brought him out to the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. The infield, Danny Espinosa says he has it. 2 outs here in the first. And now Nick Williams.
Definitely a challenge against these lefties today. I like Montgomery in the simple fact that his windup is simple. There's not a lot of wasted motion out there. He keeps it very simple. It's a quick takeaway with his right leg, lifts his leg and makes the pitch. And what I think helps in young pitchers especially is it makes you repeat your delivery. Something that Cole Hamels I thought did so well from the left side. Jamie Moyer did so well. He repeats his delivery.
And a lot of young guys, they don't do it that way.
No. But the simpler you keep it, the easier it is to repeat that delivery.
Well, being 6'6" and throwing left-handed too. I was standing next to Dan Plesac today, just talking with him, and he's not 6'6", but he's pretty close.
Yeah.
And just how imposing he must have been on the mound. Off the hands, down the left field line. That's going to drop for a hit. Williams is going to try for 2. Shane Robinson's throw is right on the money. Wow. That was right. I didn't think there was any chance they would throw Nick Williams out. He's got such good speed. But Robinson able to make a strike throw to second base. We'll head to the second.
Team USA speed skater Joey Mantilla has speed on the eye.
Phillies down 3-0 as we go to the top of the second inning. Nick Williams showing some aggressiveness that Gabe Kapler likes.
You try to be a little bit more efficient rounding the bases. I think Nick gets caught watching the ball here and kind of forgets where first base is, and it's a game of inches. I think he's a little bit more efficient around first base. Maybe start that slide a bit sooner. See Nick staying on second base instead of being thrown out.
You know, and you bring that up, but that is something that Gabe told us the other day, but has told everybody that he's talked to that they are trying to tighten up the base running routes for a lot of the players, and it's not necessarily that the Phillies do it wrong. It's just something that young players overall in baseball don't do correctly.
You can see how fast Nick is. But if you don't take the right route, you see the outcome.
So Reyes is down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 for 1 so far this spring. Playing third base today, which the Yankees seem to have shored up by acquiring Brandon Drury from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Although they say he's probably going to bounce around. Many people feel like Drury's best position is third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. 3rd strikeout for Nola. And 2-3 of the putout. And here is Billy McKinney. Billy McKinney is a lot like Ben Davis. A 1st-round pick. Just like you were, Ben. He was picked by the A's in 2013. Six home runs last year for the Thunder. Also played in the Fall League, where he hit .279. Overall last year in the minor leagues, he had 16 home runs and 64 runs batted in. Number 71 for the Yankees. What number did you wear for the Yankees?
19.
Wow, you really rated. Nothing, huh?
Well, I did have a couple years under my belt, but I did kind of feel like a fish out of water in the fact that my locker partners, it went Jorge Posada, myself, Johnny Damon, and Jason Giambi. It was like one of these things is not like
high
the other.
Expectations for you, Ben Davis. Shane Robinson. It's unfortunate they didn't retire at number 19 for you.
Get up there.
Good inning.
Tommy Joseph makes the call on the catch.
Good
out
inning.
Shallow right field. Yep. 2 innings in the books for Aaron Nola. It's a 1-2-3 second. We played 1.5, 3-0 Yankees.
I play fearless. I want to play free and not don't question myself and just, you know, as soon as you don't take chances, you don't know how good you'll be. So I'm just going to get it and freak baseball play. It just happened. I mean, injuries they've been my kryptonite. You know, the past few years, everything started well, and then there's 1 year after another, major injury, nagging stuff, and so this was a tough one to swallow. You know, this was definitely had a different mindset coming into this spring training, and that started with Cap, talking to him, and, you know, after I signed, and getting here and talking to the guys, and just the overall attitude here. And there's you know, I sat down with Cap this morning and in his office, and I'm really disappointed. I'm frustrated because there's really something special brewing in this clubhouse with this group of guys. You know, I don't know if it's going to be this year, next year, whatever, but at some point we're going to be really, really good.
Well, that was Will Middlebrooks earlier today, guys. Of course, this happened yesterday, 8th inning, a collision with his teammate out there in the outfield, Andrew Pullen, and the result is a broken fibula. That was the report today. You heard the disappointment in Will Middlebrooks' voice when he was talking to reporters today. You know, just really getting things started here in Clearwater, and already a major injury for him to deal with. You know, he talked about coming into this spring training and talked about how he wanted to play fearless. No game was meaningless. No play was meaningless. And, you know, unfortunately, those kinds of things do happen in sports. And, you know, it's obviously extremely disappointing, not only for Will Middlebrooks, but for the Phillies organization. But Gabe Kapler did tell reporters today that they hope that as soon as Will Middlebrooks is feeling up to it. He is back in this clubhouse, and he is, telling those guys and preaching that message of fearlessness to go out there and play every game and every play like it's your last, because that really is something that they're trying to preach down here, and Will Middlebrooks was buying into that wholeheartedly. So it's tough to watch that yesterday, but it certainly was good to see him back on his feet today and talking with the folks.
Yeah, he was in the clubhouse pretty early today with his teammates. And Gabe Kapler echoed the sentiments that Will Middlebrooks talked about. Obviously a guy that's been around, so if he is sticking around, as he mentions, it can only help some of the younger players.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Odubel Herrera.
But again, we talked about it yesterday, just all the work he put in the offseason. And have it just come crashing down on you. It's very disheartening. I feel bad for him.
Odubel, chopper out to shortstop. Torres. I don't know if Odubel hurt himself or what, as he was going up the first base line, but he was going up fairly slow.
Not the best effort there by Odubel.
So 1 away here in the second. Drew Hutchinson was loosening up in the bullpen for the Phillies.
Didn't look like he was limping at all. See him out of the box. He even gets out of the box slowly. Adjusts his helmet, make sure that stays on. Yeah, I don't know.
Odubel DHing today for the Phils. 2 balls and no strikes to Michael. Franco 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, 2-0 changeup there. He spit on the 1-0 changeup. Montgomery comes back with another one. Gets Michael way out in front. I'd have been swinging heater myself.
And Michael down on strikes for the second out. First strikeout for Montgomery. And that'll bring Andrew Knapp to the plate.
Comes back with a breaking ball here. Michael right over the top.
High, 1 ball and no strikes.
High?
I was just calling it along with the umpire.
Okay.
How they speed up the game, Ben?
Call more strikes.
Andrew Knapp last year 257 with 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Last year Andrew wore number 34 for the Phillies, and asked this past offseason after the passing of Roy Halladay, Doc wore 34 for the Phils, if he could switch numbers in honor of Doc. I think the feeling was that nobody should wear that number for the upcoming season. Andrew wore 15 for most of his amateur career. One ball and 2 strikes to Knapp. Open action for the Yankees. Justice Sheffield is scheduled to pitch second for the Yankees, so he's loosening up now. It's only 24 pitches, though, for Montgomery. They've been effective pitches, back-to-back strikeouts. He retires the Phils 1-2-3 here in the second. No runs, no plans are available for the 2018 season. Plans start with as little as 12 games and offer great benefits. It invites you to exclusive season ticket holder events, flexible ticketing exchange, and donation program. Call 215-463-5000 or go to Phillies.com for more information. Aaron Nola is done for the day as he is signing some autographs as he heads out into the clubhouse. And Drew Hutchinson will be the new pitcher for the Phils. So Nola, 2 innings this afternoon, 4 hits, and 3 runs. All 3 runs were earned. He's wrapped up his autograph session, so he's down in some prime real estate with Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yeah, here with Aaron Nola, 2 innings in the book, the first 2 for you in spring. You've been doing this for a little while here at the Major League level, but do you still have those butterflies when you get out there for the very first time?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much today, but it just feels good to get back in game situations and to compete again.
You know, there's so much talk about working on things in spring training, and you guys are competitive guys, and getting outs and keeping guys off the base paths. How do you evaluate your outings when you come out and you take a look at the film at this point?
Right now, I'm really worried about and focused on my delivery right now and how the ball's coming out of my hand and getting the feel of all my pitches. And today it felt pretty good, 3 runs with on the scoreboard. I feel like I made some good pitches right there, but just not good enough to where they swing and miss or ground balls.
Did you do anything different this offseason to get ready for this year, or is your routine pretty set? And we talked a little bit earlier about you talking about spring training last year for you and kind of being a springboard for last year's success. What about this year?
Just sticking with my routine. Not too much difference from last year. Just staying with my routine and trying to stay disciplined in it.
Do you take a look at any of the stuff that's being talked about or written in the offseason? Your name being mentioned as one of those guys to watch, a young starter that may really, burst onto the scene and really surprise some folks this year. Do you look at that? Do you take any notice of that? Do you care about that?
Not really. I don't really look at all that stuff. I just, focused on just trying to help this team win. That's all I really care about, and just to do my part.
What about the fun stuff this offseason? You keep busy doing some good stuff?
Yeah, I traveled a little bit. Wedding season down in Baton Rouge every year for me. But I went to Sedona, Arizona for my brother's wedding. That was probably the highlight of my all season.
Well, there you go. Well, congratulations on getting back there on the mound, and we look forward to watching you all spring. Thanks, Aaron. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. We appreciate that. So 2 innings, 4 hits, and 3 earned runs for Nola as Ellsbury hits one towards shallow center field. And one away here in the third. Here's Torres. Torres doubled and scored his first time up. Hutchison is 27 years old. He is from Lakeland, Florida. Last year, he found himself in Indianapolis, where he made 26 starts in AAA. One hopper out to shortstop. Crawford makes the clean play. Phillies live streaming is back for 2018, but with the twist. For the first time ever, all 17 of our spring training broadcasts are available on your device with the NBC Sports app. Download it now and stream the Phils all spring and summer. Hutchison pitched for the Blue Jays in the big leagues and won 11 games in 14 and 13 games in 2015. He was only 24 years old at the time. And then in 2016, he went from the Blue Jays, where he pitched in 3 games, to the Pirates, and that's where he was last year, but was not called up. I think a lot of people expected he was going to get called up last year.
Michael.
3 balls and no strikes. to Greg Bird. Bird struck out his first time up. Popped up left side. Let's see if Michael Franco can find this one. He says he does just by his hand signal. And he makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 third inning for Drew Hutchinson. Middle of the third. Phillies trail at 3-0 to the Yankees.
Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive system makes the most of available traction by optimally engaging all four wheels. It's the difference between coping with the elements and making the elements beg for mercy. 4MATIC all-wheel drive is available on more vehicles than ever before. Lease the GLC 300 4MATIC for $469 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Welcome home your favorite Phillies at Nemours opening day with free knit hats for all fans April 5th at 3:05 against the Marlins. Order now. Great players, great plays, plus a great deal. Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, Tuesday, April 10th at 7:05 against the Reds. Order now.
This isn't just something we decide. This is something our fathers did and our fathers' fathers did. It's a birthright. Philadelphians can sniff out a phony like that. Trust me, we will never tolerate bandwagon phoniness. I mean, you think this comes overnight? This type of fan doesn't come overnight. You have to go through it. We've experienced a lot of downs as a fan base. And yeah, it's just like Rocky. We've been hit. We've hit the mat, but we always stand back up. That takes an authentic fan.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason. Who bought W.B. Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Beautiful day here in Clearwater, Florida. We move to the bottom half of the third inning. Along with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. Justice Sheffield will be the new pitcher for the Yankees. Yankees traded Andrew Miller to the Cleveland Indians a couple of years ago, and they got Justice Sheffield. They also got Clint Frazier in that deal. They feel like Sheffield is moving pretty quick through the organization. Something that Aaron Boone certainly felt like was enticing when he took this job. Aaron said that even if he didn't get the Yankee job, that he would have had a job in baseball, not as a broadcaster. He was going to leave broadcasting and go somewhere to get a job in baseball. He had something else lined up. Yeah. Tommy Joseph leads things off and takes a strike. Joseph 1 for 2 so far this spring with a double. Last year, 22 home runs, 69 runs batted in. I think Tommy's lined up today, Ben, to do a minute with Murph.
You think so?
I do. From what my understanding is.
I guess he didn't have time for Aaron.
Well, Aaron looked like he was a little tuckered out after a couple innings on the mound. We'll go back to him eventually. Right, Murph?
We will go back to him eventually, yeah. You can't spend a minute with everybody, Ben.
No. It's only so many minutes in the day.
That's
Murph.
right. And it kind of lessens the specialness.
That's right. The specialness.
Specialness.
Is that a word?
Well, it is now.
Okay.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Tommy Joseph.
You see Sheffield not really big in stature, but he's got a big arm.
Yeah, he stands 5'11". That's what he's listed at. 200 pounds. First round pick out of Tullahoma, Tennessee. Back in 2014.
Sprawling metropolis.
Swing and a miss. Gets Tommy Joseph on strikes. And 1 out here in the third.
Looking for that 94 to 97. That is a late breaking slider. Obviously, Tommy didn't see the spin on that one. It's a tough pitch to lay off of.
Sheffield last year, he finished up the season in Double-A where he was 7-6 in 17 starts with an ERA of 3.18. So there's a pretty good chance that at the age of 21 he finds himself in AAA. I mean, look at that right there. 95 right out of the chute in his first outing of the spring.
And not a ton of effort either.
Andrew Miller certainly helped the Indians, but they gave up an awful lot for his services as Dylan Cousins falls behind 0-2. You're right, this is a challenge for the left-handed hitters for the Phillies, these first two hitters. Sheffield is a top 50 prospect in all of Major League Baseball, not just the Yankees, all of Major League Baseball. Charlie Manuel and Larry Boa take it in today's game.
Hey, if I'm Cousins, I'm going to sell out on that slider. He gets you off the plate with a fastball. And he wants to go that same pitch he just got Tommy Joseph out with.
Is that a simplistic thought? I mean, honestly, because he just pushed him off, you figure.
There it was. Yep. And it's just for the simple fact that not a ton of guys double up inside anymore. We saw Aaron do that earlier in the ball game, but especially lefty on lefty, if that's his out pitch, more than likely he's going to go to it. Now, if he does run one in on you, tip your cap and walk back to the bench, but I'm going to sell out on that slider away.
Would you do it again here, or are you thinking another fastball?
I think he's going to go lower than low with the slider. He's going back in.
That one came in at 96 miles an hour. So 3-2 to Cousins. Dylan Cousins last year 27 home runs. The last 2 years 67 home runs. As Florimone is in the on deck circle. Got him with the slider. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sheffield. Well, Dylan most likely is going to see some of Justice Sheffield this year in AAA.
This is just nasty. So late breaking. It's 4 strikeouts in a row here for the Phillies.
And now Florimone, who was 0 for 2 with a strikeout so far. Florimone had a horrific leg injury last year. I am shocked that he's even back now from that injury. But he's got a chance to make this club in sort of the role that Andres Blanco had the last couple of years. Those are the numbers from AAA last year for Florimone. He has an outstanding arm and can play any of the infield positions and also a little outfield. We saw that last year. He played center field. But he is a gifted shortstop. And has big league experience with the Pirates and, of course, with the Phillies last year. Two balls and 1 strike. Just missed at 96 on the inner half. Little one hopper spinning toward Espinosa. And the Phillies go down in order here in the third. 1 hit through 3 innings for the Phils. We had the little blooper that Michael just lost from the get-go. And then Espinosa floated one down the right field line for a double. Location, 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 Ben.
Aaron has to be very happy about his outing today, though. I mean, I thought he threw the heck out of the baseball. All 3 pitches with command.
1-1 is hit foul. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hicks last year hit .218 in the second half of the season. 312 hitter versus 312 hitters as a right-hander, 240 hitter as a left-hander. We mentioned that he played center field for most of the postseason. He hit .196 in the postseason. Played in center field instead of Jacoby Ellsbury. Down the left field line, Nick Williams on the run. That is a fair ball, and it goes into the corner. And Hicks pulls into second base with a leadoff double against Drew Hutchinson.
Excellent piece of hitting there by Hicks. He just literally threw his hands at the baseball and put it in play. We talked about it yesterday. Good things happen. So much emergency swing right here. He just one-hands it down the left field line for a pair. Ball really carried.
Here's Austin Romine, who went down on strikes against Nola his first time. Had a play, it's 0-1. Sanchez is obviously the everyday catcher for the Yankees, and he is pretty darn good. I mean, you know what he is offensively, but he's also an excellent defensive catcher.
He will struggle from time to time with some pass balls. He's in the 20s last year, but nobody has a better arm. He's a good receiver, and we know what he can do with the stick.
Out toward the middle, J.P. Crawford. Ball not hit that hard. Over to third base goes Hicks. 1 away. Well, the Yankee roster, see the players that they've added, and nobody is bigger than Giancarlo Stanton. The players that they lost. Todd Frazier's now with the Mets. Castro is down with the Marlins. Frazier's clubhouse presence is going to be difficult to replace. Phillies will play the infield in with 1 man down and a runner at third. And here's Espinosa. Yankees pitch, though, they're going to be hard to beat. Yankees Red Sox, those matchups again this year with the additions that both have made.
There's going to be some thumping going on in that AL East.
Unless something crazy happens. Obviously, health of players is always important. 1 ball, no strikes to Espinosa. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, did the Todd father root for the Mets as well, or is it strictly Yankees?
I think he just rooted for the Yankees, but I think members of his family rooted for the Mets.
Okay. And now they have to.
Now they have to. Three balls and no strikes.
I have to imagine he's got the green light here.
Three and one as Hutchinson floats that one in.
I mean, you come here to hit. You got a 3-0 count. Now, Hutchinson doesn't want to walk you. You got a man on third base. I'm not saying he's going to, during the season, it wouldn't be the same. Put him on first base and he can do some double play. But in this situation,
good spot. Hutchinson throwing that changeup. Espinosa thought it was down. I don't think it was down.
Perfect spot.
I mean, Knapp raised it a little bit, but it looked like it crossed the plate at the knees. Three balls, two strikes. Well, ball 4. That puts runners on first and third. And Torreyes will be coming up.
Back up home.
Shallow right field. Cousins fighting the sun, getting under it, makes the catch. Here comes Hicks. The throw to the plate is on one hop. Not it. Well, it was there, but he just was able to get by it on a heck of a slide. That bounce, it went a little higher than I think Knapp wanted, and that enabled Hicks to get in there.
Cousins does a good job of getting behind the baseball. Quick release. Perfect one-hop strike to Andrew Knapp at home plate. I'm surprised Hicks got in there. Woo. Does he get him on the back here?
Yep.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Looked like right before the hand hit the plate. Well, it goes down as a sac fly. No replay in spring training games. But Dylan Cousins showing a strong arm.
Smart base running by Espinosa to advance on that as well.
Espinosa advanced to second base as the throw was coming in over the head of the cutoff man. And a first pitch strike to Billy McKinney, who grounded out his first time up. Andrew doesn't say a whole lot, but you can see he did say something to Hallion because he knew that he got him on the back. I don't know if Tom had the angle to even see it where he was. To the right side, shallow right field. Florimon. And coming home is Espinosa. Now he goes back. Should go down as an E4.
I'd like to see Pedro be a little bit more aggressive with this baseball. Kind of lets that ball play him. You want to go get it on that short hop. He takes it on that long hop, and that long hop, you don't know if it's going to stay down, if it's going to bounce up on you. If you go and get it on the short hop, be a lot more consistent. Amazing after all these years. That was the first thing that popped in my head on that fly ball to right field. Back up home plate.
Did he do it?
He did.
All right.
It just gets so inherent as a catcher.
To right field to Cousins. And that'll do it for the Yankees here in the fourth inning. They do get a run on the sac fly from Torreyes. Middle of the fourth, Yankees 4, Phillies nothing. Ball is brought to you by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity, America's best internet service provider, according to speedtest.com. A beautiful day out on the Gulf. I think that's the Gulf.
Did you captain that one, big guy?
I sure could. Although that's a sailboat, so that's a little harder. I'm going to throw an engine on it. It's a little easier, I think.
Good deckhands, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Would Megan still have to park that one? Or dock it, I should say. You don't park a boat, you dock a boat.
She probably would. She's calmer than I am when it comes to that. Here's Roman Quinn to lead things off. He grounded out the first time up. And it's 0-1. I'd like to see Roman Quinn get on just to watch him run. Although Justice Sheffield doesn't look like he wants to allow anybody to get on base. Much like Jordan Montgomery, who went the first 2 innings and allowed just 1 hit. Two balls and 1 strike to Roman Quinn. Down and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hard pressed to find anybody that the Phillies have that's ready to come up to the big leagues that could possibly work off the bench, that has the tools that Quinn has speed-wise. And you may see a little of that here. J.P. Crawford's coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, J.P. Crawford batting second today for Gabe Kapler. And, you know, we've been talking about J.P. Crawford for a couple of years now because of the talent that he possesses. But it's important to remember that, you know, really in baseball circles, he is still very much a prospect. And if you take a look at MLBpipelines.com's top 100 Major League Baseball prospects, there you find him at number 37 on the list. In fact, the Phillies have 6 guys in the top 100. You see Sixto Sanchez, who we've heard so much about, and Scott Kingery, who will see this spring. Medina's on that list. Moniak and Hazley, the last 2 #1 picks for the Phillies. So 6 players in the top 100 prospects list. You know, that's what this organization has been trying to do over the last couple of years, kind of rebuild that farm system, get guys ready to come up to the big leagues. And you know what? We're just about there. It seems like there's a couple of guys right on the cusp ready to come up and help this ball club. One of them being the guy at the plate right now.
Yeah, and Sixto Sanchez, if anybody's coming down here to spring training, once the minor leaguers do report, they'll be on the backfields. And he's somebody to come down and watch. He's only 19 years old. He won't be 20 until this July. And last year, he was 5-7 with a 3.03 ERA. As Crawford gets hit by that ball. But Sixto Sanchez is somebody that, you know, a lot of scouts from other teams, anytime the Phillies chat trade, so is Sixto Sanchez available? Because he's got such a good fastball. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds, but he's got a good fastball, good changeup as well.
I was talking with Dickie Knowles about him last summer, and Dickie loves him. He said he is the real deal. He said, you know, it's not going to be rushed, but he'll be in the big leagues soon.
Well, and again, like Justice Sheffield for the Yankees, who's just 21, Sanchez won't be 20 until this year and could find himself at Double-A. Runners on first and second for Nick Williams, who singled his first time up and it was thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double. Now that's no balls and 1 strike. Bullpen action for the Yankees. Wade LeBlanc, the former big leaguer, loosening up. Phillies yesterday had 9 runs on 12 hits against the Orioles, 3 extra base hits. They were 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Ground ball to first, and Bird's throw to second is there in time to get Crawford.
Aggressive.
Yeah, I figured with a 4-0 lead, he might just go to first base.
Well, spring training time to work on everything, but it's a good time to do it. Now you still have the double play in order. Take a look at Justice Sheffield. Very simple. Well, he does kind of fall off to that third base side. I'm trying to put my finger on it, on who he resembles. Not so much out of the stretch, but out of the windup. J.C. Romero.
Huh.
Very similar in that delivery.
Just throws a little harder.
A little harder.
Here's Odubel, who grounded out his first time up. I think they're going to call that a strike. I mean, the whole body went around. The bat was on his shoulder, but the body went around.
The backup slider. Lucky he didn't put that in play.
He might have scored a run because it would have dribbled to the right side. Well, who says Odubel doesn't take direction? He did look at his left pocket to see if something was hanging out of it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Herrera. Yeah, it's 1-2. Odubel's numbers last year with runners at third and less than 2 outs. Just a hair above. Blonde hair, brown hair above the average in the league.
More of a golden hue.
In the air to right center field. McKinney's going to get to it. It'll score a run. Roman Quinn will coast home from third. So it's a sacrifice fly for Odubel. The Phillies are on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game.
A good swing there by Odubel. I think Odubel thought he got it. I think it was a little bit off the end.
Third baseman Franco.
Take a look at the swing. It's always a matter of him getting his foot down. He gets his foot down. Maybe just a hair out in front. Yep, just off the end. He clips it. Drops his bat.
Here's Franco. Franco struck out his first time. That was against Jordan Montgomery. Michael in the game the other day against the Blue Jays was 0 for 2. That one's hit well. Deep to left field. Going back is Robinson. And it's off the back wall of the Phillies bullpen. A 2-run home run. And it's now a 4-3 ball game.
Bottle that swing, Michael. No effort there, Tom. No effort. Quick hands, slow feet. Play Pepper with the back of the wall in the bullpen. I mean, that pitch, couldn't ask for a better pitch to hit. And that's what good hitters do. They do not miss it. But on balance, he finishes. He's not falling over. You let that velocity do all the talking.
Well, that's the 6th extra base hit of the spring for the Phillies. They pulled it within 1. Justice Sheffield's afternoon is complete.
Lawnflooring.com for more details.
Group tickets are available for the 2018 season. So if you have a group of 25 or more, and if you have a fundraising opportunity, or if you just want to take them out to the ball game to enjoy the night, then go to Phillies.com/group tickets or call 215-463-5000 for more information. Justice Sheffield in the dugout after an inning and 2/3. He is charged with 3 runs. And he'll give way to Wade LeBlanc, who will face Andrew Knapp. Numbers last year for LeBlanc, a 4.50 earned run average. Knapp struck out his first time up. First 2 Yankee pitchers have put together 4 strikeouts in 3 2/3. And the first pitch. Good thing Ellsbury saw it because I don't think anybody else did. And the side does, or the inning does come to a close. 3 runs score for the Phil.
They are delightful.
Eddie's down here.
Eddie's down here.
Yep. Drew Anderson to begin the 5th inning. Cameron Rupp is the new catcher. As Jacoby Ellsbury will lead things off. First pitch a little low. Matt McBride is out in left field. Colin Cowgill is in center field. On the outside corner, 1-1. So Florimone still at second base. Scott Kingry's at shortstop. There's Kingry. And Alvarez is over at third base. Ground ball to second base. Florimone corrals that one. With those changes, Kingry at shortstop. That means J.P. Crawford's day is done, except He's got a minute with Murph.
He does. So his day is not quite done yet. He's going to join us down here in the left field corner. I was just talking to you about how you feeling overall. You come into this camp, and obviously a little bit of a different camp for you, a little bit of a different major league camp, knowing that you're probably the guy right there in the middle of the diamond. So how do you approach it? What's the mindset as you came in?
Mindset's to, just keep working hard. I mean, I still haven't earned a spot yet, so I got to go out there every day and work hard and harder than everybody else so I can secure that job. And, we're just out here having fun and competing.
Talk a little bit about what the offseason is like for you. Is it any different this year as you prepare to come into Major League camp?
Oh, yeah, this last offseason I had a full workout schedule, like 3 or 4 times a week, but I stayed with it all offseason and lost 10 pounds and feel really good about myself.
Lost 10 pounds? My gosh, I don't think you needed to lose 10 pounds, but do you feel like you're a little bit lighter on your feet? Is that why you did it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. More versatile. I feel like my agility has gotten a lot faster, and I gotten stronger, too. I'm just losing all the bad weight I didn't need and just picking up more muscle.
Talk a little bit about where your confidence level is now that you come into camp. You've been up here. You know what to expect. You know these guys. So do you feel like that makes a difference for you?
It makes a difference, but, the confidence never went away. I mean, it's always been the same. No one's going to out-compete me in anything. That's just how I was raised. I mean, so confidence has been there, and just going out there in camp having fun and, just playing baseball.
All right, I like that. I like that confidence. And I'm going to throw a couple of questions your way. You're going to need a little confidence to answer these questions. A minute with Murph, guys. First one, baseball excluded. What is the toughest thing to do athletically?
Toughest thing to do athletically, man, I'll say surfing. I mean,
wow, okay.
I never tried it, never will. Probably am scared of sharks. But, I mean, it looks pretty hard trying to do it.
I am fairly certain I could not surf. That's a good answer. That is off the board. All right, if you could have any superpower at all, what superpower would that be?
You seen The Incredibles?
Yeah.
I think I'd be the Frozone, the guy who freezes and can sled on ice and just get ice out of nowhere. He's a G.
All right, there you go. All right, and finally, you're having company over to the house, okay, and you have to cook. You're not passing this off. What are you making? What is J.P. Crawford serving for dinner?
Chicken and ribs and some burgers.
All right, so you're going on the grill.
Yes, sir.
All right, that sounds pretty good. So, guys, when we get our invite over to JP's house, we know what we can expect at this point. Definitely. JP, good to see you.
Good to see you
Have
too.
a great spring. We enjoy it. All right, guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you.
You know what Murph would make us?
What's that?
He'd make reservations.
Yes, he.
That's a great idea.
Down the left field line, out of play.
Have safe, safe travel.
1 ball and 1 strike. Aaron Hicks is 2 for 2. JP played along pretty well with that.
He did.
I thought he was going to throw Murph away a little bit on that Incredibles comment. Murph said he saw the movie, though.
Have you ever tried to surf?
Yeah, when I was younger.
I never have. Never tried.
And could lift this body up on a surfboard. Takes a lot, Ben.
Yeah, I'm sure. I never tried it.
Well, you're not the athlete that I am and J.P. Crawford is.
It's true.
One and 2. Breaking ball, cut out and missed. Hicks is rung up. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We have played 4 1/2. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Drew Anderson, 3rd.
All lefties.
Toward the hole, base hit for Tommy Joseph.
Amazing how you can get that far out in front, but as long as you keep your hands back. I mean, literally, his whole body got out in front of himself, but he kept his hands back enough he could punch it through that hole.
So Tommy Joseph.
Watch how his body moves forward, even his head goes, but his hands stay back. Extension through the ball so you don't hook it. Good piece of hitting there by Tommy.
Zach Coppola is the base runner over at first base. He takes over for Tommy Joseph. And now Dylan Cousins. Cousins struck out his first time up on a 3-2 breaking ball from Justice Sheffield. Dillon last year 194 strikeouts. Of course, the Phillies would like to have him crack down on that as Coppola is picked off. Coppola was leaning a little bit too much there.
A heck of a move by LeBlanc.
Right. Pick him up.
Quick. On the money. That's not even close.
Coppola's thinking, man, I was just getting settled in. Down the right field line, and Dylan Cousins will be aboard, trying for 2. And we'll get there sliding. So a 1-out double.
Big man can move, can he?
He can. He's an unbelievable athlete. And now Florimone will come up.
He keeps his head down on this. Good piece of hitting. He gets out of the box so well, and he just gets going. I mean, talking man at 6'6", 6'7". But he can move.
Florimone, his first time up, grounded out. Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw to third is a little wide, and Cousins went off the bag. Two outs here in the 5th inning.
Not the best jump. The throw on the foul side of the line there, but maybe start that slide a bit earlier. Tries a swim move here. He makes it.
Yep. Just kept on going. Roller out to third base. And that'll do it for the Phils. They do get a couple of hits in the inning, but they
not too good on the base running.
Don't leave anybody. On to the 6th inning. It's 4-3.
Recovery starts with a call. Pennsylvania's
Kyle Higashioka, who came on to catch for Austin Romine in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now Danny Espinosa up for the 3rd time. He doubled home 3 runs his first time up. And then he walked in the 4th inning. Chris Young is in the dugout, getting the fielders set up based on the scouting report that is provided to him by Sam Fold. They're right in the front door. There's Chris Young. Sam is right next to him with the sunglasses on. Sam is the MLB player information coordinator for the Phils, former major leaguer, and Chris is the assistant pitching coach. Chris served as the Astros' top advanced scout while they were going to the World Championship last year. So he's going to position the outfielders while also being the assistant pitching coach.
A lot on his plate.
Yeah. One ball and 1 strike. It is interesting, as that pitch must have been just a bit outside or high. It's interesting, we've seen shifting in the infielders, obviously, over the years. It's more prevalent the last decade. Shifting the outfielders, you would do it from time to time, but I don't think we would see it as drastic as, let's say, this right here. A lot of times the outfielders would just do it on their own.
Right.
But now the Phillies are going to try to do it from the dugout much like they would do the infielders. Shallow center field. Kingery ventures back.
And it's funny to see a shift like that where all the infielders are on the right side. The outfield is shifted opposite field, and the guy who's first at bat hooks the ball down the right field line.
Right.
It's like. But it is true. They're really, really good hitters. There's no shift because they use the whole field.
Torreyes is 0 for 1. Had a sac fly his last time up. Struck out his first time. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Murph's been looking forward to this all day. A Minute with Murph with Tommy Joseph. Take it away, Murph.
I always look forward to talking to this guy, and he is down here in the left field corner. Hey, you finished with a base knock today, and you get the base knock, you get to come off the base pass. That's a good way to finish the day, right?
Yeah, I was pretty fired up about that. You get a pinch runner, that's good. Yeah, to end your day with a knock is also good, but it was nice to see we fought back into this ball game, and hopefully we can win it.
Spring training is all about competition, as we know, at every level. And, it's no different for you guys that have been in the big leagues for a while. You come here and you compete. Is that the mindset when you arrived here in Clearwater this year, that the competition's on?
Yeah, but the competition's on, like you said, every day. The competition, even during the season, it's always on. You're doing everything you can to help your team win. At the same time, there's also scouts in the stands that are watching you for all the other clubs. So you know that every day in the major leagues is just another opportunity.
You walk into that clubhouse and you look around and you say to yourself, you know what? I'm one of those veteran guys now. I'm one of those guys that have been around a little bit. Do you try to take on that leadership role a little bit even more now that you realize that there are so many young guys in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite in that situation.
I'm not calling you old, I'm saying.
Yeah, let's easy on that. I'm not as old as Ben, but yeah, no, I don't think I'm quite to that veteran status. I still have a lot left to prove. I need to get a few more years under my belt before I get to that veteran leadership quality. But I do take pride in the way that I handle myself and the way that I go about my work, and hopefully that rubs off on some of the younger guys.
Absolutely. All right, you ready to spend a minute with Murph? Okay, because it's all the rage down here in Clearwater. Did you know that? Yeah, all right. Finish this sentence. The best thing about being in the big leagues is?
Charter flights.
Charter flight, they are pretty good. Yeah, no airport security at the airport. That's a nice thing. All right, which teammate is a must follow on Instagram?
Must follow. We got a lot of good guys. For social media purposes, as of right now, I'll say Nick Pivetta.
Because of the contest it's gone.
Yeah, there's a little something going on inside the clubhouse.
So you might have a couple shekels on Nick Pivetta is what you're telling me.
I might.
All right, finally, name a food that currently is not fried, but should be fried because it would be awesome if it was.
What about peanut butter and jelly?
Peanut butter.
Can you do that?
You absolutely can do that, and that's exactly what T-Mac said earlier this morning.
Well, T-Mac's a smart guy.
And he knows his food, that's for sure.
He loves his food, so and that's why we get along so great.
Absolutely. Tommy, thank you very much. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Murph.
Now we'll be talking later in the spring. Guys, back upstairs. Peanut butter and jelly, Tom.
I don't know, but I appreciated the first part of it. I'm not sure about the second part. That ball was coming right into the booth.
Almost.
I thought it was hitting the net, which is a brand new net.
That's what I thought it was going to hit. And that just kept it closer and closer.
But I do think Tommy's smart to choose peanut butter and jelly. Why not make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and throw it into a deep fryer? No, Ben?
Can't go wrong. Anything fried is good.
0-2 pitch coming. Breaking ball to first base. Right between the 5-hole Logan Moore. 2 runs will score for the Yankees, and it's now a 6-3 ball game.
I think Logan Moore was a little more adept behind the plate. It's like he was trying to go down and block it like a catcher. I think he just had his sights set on coming home with this. Didn't look it into his first baseman's mitt and see him go down almost like the smother, like a catcher would. See where his eyes are, though? Looking at the runner at third base. Got to catch it first.
So that's the second error for the Phillies. They committed 2 errors yesterday. And now Rashad Crawford will be the hitter. Crawford batting for Shane Robinson.
Hey,
6-3, Yankees on top. One ball and one strike. We saw Drew Henderson last year. He came up. We saw him in Anaheim for the first time. Got to the big leagues, didn't pitch, went right back down. One ball and one strike. And 1-2 as that one is out of play. Rashad Crawford last year hit .210 for the Trenton Thunder with 5 home runs and 32 runs batted in. There goes. Pitches inside. Rupp's throw is wide. And a stolen base for Hendricks. So he's in scoring position with one man down.
Not a worse pitch to throw on than that ball down and into a lefty. It's just really tough to, you can't come up firing right away. You're going to hit him in the head. But you kind of have to let that ball ride you back. If you get out there too far, I always called it getting top heavy. You get your butt above yourself, you face plant and spike one in the second base.
Three and two. Brandon Liebrand warming up in the bullpen. Anxious to see how much he is like his dad was on the mound when he comes into a game. He was not listed as a possible pitcher for today, but I think Drew Anderson's running out of gas here in his second inning. A breaking ball, strike 3 call.
A good hook today.
So 2 outs.
Tom Hallion with authority back there. It's just a good hook here. Catches Crawford looking. Let him know, Tommy.
Well, here's Florial, who came on to play center field for Jacoby Ellsbury in the last half inning. Florial, 20 years old, from Haiti. Last year in Single A, see what he did, 13 home runs, 57 runs batted in. He also participated in the Arizona Fall League for the Yankees and put pretty good numbers up. He hit .286 with 20 hits and a couple stolen bases. He's an outfielder and a center fielder mostly, but spent a lot of time in right field during the Arizona Fall League. Do some movement out of the way there, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Baseball America ranks him as the 38th best prospect. That a strike.
38th in all of baseball?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yankees brought him into spring training just to kind of get a look at him for an extended period of time. Figure he was only in single A last year. Breaking ball swung on it, missed. So Drew Anderson finishes up his outing with. Bring the family to Cavity Busters Kids Opening Day. It's Sunday, April 8th, when the Phillies take on the Marlins at 1:35. A Cavity Busters hooded sweatshirt given out to kids 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com. Get your tickets right now. You always got to get some help when you're putting your sunscreen on, Ben, particularly when you have a chrome dome. That gentleman there. Got to make sure you got it all. Sitting out on the berm, you're going to soak in the sun. Sun drips on this field the entire day.
It does.
There's no second deck. No seating out in the outfield to sort of shield it. As we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. And Scott Kingery leads it off for the Phillies. Kingery playing shortstop today, which we were told that we would see him at different positions. Whether he makes the club out of spring training, a lot of it's going to depend on how he performs here in spring. He's going to be up with the big club, we can assume, at some point here in 2018. But when he goes back down to the minor leagues, you may not see him just at second base. You know, there was a lot of talk last year about him playing a little third base. Reports where he was taking ground balls there. Well, I think they're going to try to make him, at least at this point, because you have Cesar up here, you have J.P. Crawford at shortstop, try to make him a guy that can play everywhere. So he's at shortstop today. You might see him in the outfield, which is not a strange move.
No.
Because Kingery, when he was in college, his first 2 years, he was an outfielder. 27 starts in the outfield in 2013 as a freshman. 47 starts as the everyday center fielder for the Arizona Wildcats before he eventually moved to second base. And he probably would have played a little shortstop, but they had Kevin Newman at shortstop, who was a first-round pick the same year the Phillies took Scott Kingery in the second round. So one aspect that you'll hear a lot here in spring training with the Phillies this year, and you may hear it around baseball, but we center it right here in Clearwater, is versatility. The front office and Gabe Kapler wants guys to be as versatile as possible.
Well, you want them to be able to play other positions, but also feel comfortable at those positions.
Yeah, I don't think they're saying that he's Ben Zobrist by any stretch of the imagination. But hey, listen, it wouldn't be bad to find a Ben Zobrist.
No. And his bat is going to play at the big league level.
And there's no doubt his defense will too. Bouncing ball foul. Mister got himself a souvenir, not too shabby. Bouncing ball foul.
Win the battle here.
Another foul ball. Kingery is now 23 years old. He will turn 24 on the 29th of April.
Nice play by that young man.
Yeah, if you bring a glove, make it easier.
Wearing the wrong jersey, but nice play.
Last year, Kingery blazed a path in Double-A when he hit .313 with 18 home runs and 44 RBIs. That was in 69 games. Then he went to AAA, played 63 more games in the regular season, hit .294. After a high fastball. Looks like the Osprey is calling something out up there. I don't think you'd win a battle with the Osprey, Ben.
No. I saw a bald eagle on the golf course the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah. He's looking for Murph's ball in the bushes.
Bald eagle was looking for a snake, maybe?
Yeah.
Here's Cameron Rupp. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Cameron will be followed by Matt McBride. See the numbers last year for Rupp: 14 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Changeup that ran out of steam as it was coming to the plate.
69 miles an hour on that one. I'd love to see Cam just take the stress out of his swing. I mean, there's nobody stronger than Cameron Rupp.
Just naturally.
Just naturally strong, but I think at times it just swings too hard. And that slows your bat down.
Hendricks was shaded over toward that area and makes the catch for the second out. I guess the big question would be, how can you change that?
Well, you take the big muscles out of it and try and just hit with your hands. Again, being as strong as that, he's got that advantage. Let those hands work. The bat's still going to be flying through the zone. It's easier said than done, but I know whenever I overswung, you think you have a quicker bat, but your bat actually slows down and ends up dragging through the zone. But when he hits with his hands, ball comes off his bat hot.
Here's Matt McBride, Lehigh's own. Matt McBride, who played in the big leagues with the Oakland Athletics and the Colorado Rockies out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and Lehigh University, where he played for Sean Leary. Got a chance to meet him this past off season at the Hot Stove Dinner at Lehigh Valley. Excited for an opportunity to play close to home, whether it be in Philadelphia or with the Iron Pigs. And he is one of those versatile guys. Can play the outfield, can catch, can hit foul balls over the roof down the left field line. Last year he was in the Pacific Coast League with the A's in Nashville at .231 with 10 homers and 49 runs batted in. Got a change up, waved at, and it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for LeBlanc. Couple of strikes.
Big higher.
Yeah, terrible.
I know.
Hey Tom, watch that countertop. I don't trust that one.
Gotta keep busy, keep the legs moving, keep the mind moving too. We'll have this done before game time.
You didn't have your tool belt on. Where's your tool belt?
I didn't need it for that.
Literally nothing you can't do.
The best was when I took the ladder and started moving it over, he just let me go.
He is a Renaissance man, is he not, Ben?
Oh, my gosh.
I love the pose, Tom. You had that contractor pose down. You gazed up.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a hard hat area, though?
There's
not a hard hat area, nope.
There is a stool in Frenchie's that needs to be fixed if you could get on that.
I can take care of that.
I know you can, and then my rental car oil does need to be changed. So.
Okay. I had to make sure my ladder was set up properly because you want to make sure it's open all the way.
That's right. You never want to walk under it either.
I don't mind walking under, Ben. So just so everybody knows, when you walk into our office now, it is as bright as can be. The fluorescent lights, not often the fluorescent lights go out, by the way, but several went out over the offseason.
Every day is a joy with you, Tom.
Thank you, Ben.
You too, Greg.
Absolutely.
To the right side. And Meneses is up with it. And one away. I did let you know that the lights would be fixed by today.
Yes, you did. I just fixed one of those on the workbench back home before I came down. I did.
Your workout bench or your workbench?
Workbench.
Are you saying you could have done that also?
One thing I can do is change a light bulb.
I didn't see you try to make an effort to do it. You've been in there for 3 days. Right, Murph?
Yeah, I know. He definitely did not get off his chair to do that, Tom.
Nope. All talk. No action.
I kind of like the dark.
Better for the skin?
It takes me a while to wake up here for these day games. So, the bright lights in the morning, not so great.
Very calming.
Yeah.
The only problem is that as you get older, when it's darker in a room, it's tougher to read something. Harris delivers a fastball, and it's 0-2. Mark DiNardo was very concerned about that countertop, as he probably should have been. No balls and 2 strikes to Ryan McBroom. Playing first base now for the Yankees. Ball hit sharply. Meneses, though, was able to corral it, throw him out, 2 away.
Nice play.
Well, the Phillies will face the Yankees tomorrow. We take a look at our Toyota report, and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, you would think, will be in the lineup tomorrow for the Yankees up there in Tampa. The game will be on radio tomorrow. WIP. In fact, Scott Fransky and Kevin Stocker will have all the action.
One of the Kevins?
One of the Kevins. One of the 3 Kevs that'll be part of Phillies radio this year and our broadcast team. Kevin Stocker, Kevin Jordan, and Kevin Fransky. Francisco Diaz, the batter. Hector's throwing 94 right now. First outing of the spring.
Murph had a couple guys and interviewed Tommy Joseph. You know, such a great guy Tommy is, but Hector, there's nobody finer. I mean, it's almost to a man. The guys on the team are they're accessible, always happy to see you. Well, at least it looks that way.
Well, Hector throws that split and is able to get a strikeout to wrap up the 7th inning. Nothing across for the Yankees. Our game summary, it's a Yankees 6, Phillies 3. Yankees scored 3 in the first inning on a double by Danny Espinosa. Jordan Montgomery, 2 scoreless for the Yankees. Justice Sheffield, an inning and 2/3, allowed 3 runs. Maikel Franco has a 2-run bomb for the Phils today. Aaron Nola, 3 earned runs, although not anything really hit that hard in his couple of innings of work. Cal Kosho will be the new pitcher for the Yankees as we start the bottom of the 7th inning. And Mitch Walding leads it off. Kosho 2-6 last year, 15 saves, an ERA of 3.75. On the outside corner, Walding is a 25-year-old former 5th-round pick by the Phillies out of Stockton, California. When Kingery left for AAA, Walding just kept on going home run wise. And then this past winter, he played in the Mexican Winter League and had 96 plate appearances, had 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, hit .228. And a breaking ball, 2-2. Walding had 13 home runs in the month of June. 13. Fanatic is back, Ben.
The best.
And ball 4, so Walding walks. And here comes Alvarez.
Kosho, big arm. Last couple pitches at 97. But we'll take the leadoff walk.
Kosho last year split time between Scranton and Trenton. His 15 saves took place in Trenton. He pitched in only 4 games for Scranton. Strike on the outside corner. Former 13th round pick out of Oklahoma Christian University. So you have a weapon, they will find you. Out to right field. And Hendricks on the edge of the warning track comes in a few steps, makes the catch, 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Just off the end of the bat.
And here's Colin Cowgill, who we saw in yesterday's ball game. Coppola is on deck. So the Phillies will be at the Yankees tomorrow at 6:35, and then Tuesday they will take on the Tigers. Tomorrow, Ben Lively will get the baseball for the Phils. Sonny Gray is scheduled to start for the Yankees. Outside at 96 miles an hour. Got a little job of Chamberlain left to him, doesn't he?
He does.
.6'5", listed at 270 pounds.
A max effort guy, that's for sure.
Fooling around there with the 3-1 pitch.
No. Cowgill is getting his money's worth. Cowgill, one of those last of the Mohicans, using an ash bat. Mostly everyone uses a maple now.
Why would he use an ash instead of a maple?
Maybe he just likes the feel of it better.
Is it lighter at all?
No.
Or does it feel lighter?
It feels different coming off the bat. Maybe he likes the feel, but mostly everyone. I would say 90% of all big leaguers use either maple or bamboo. Not bamboo. What am I thinking?
I was going to
birch.
say,
I'm thinking
they
birch.
would use bamboo.
Birch or maple.
I feel better about birch. I would not feel better about bamboo.
No.
Sounds like something that you'd see on a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
You should switch to bamboo. All right, so here's Zach Coppola. Bamboo. You got bat companies all over the country saying.
I knew it started with a B.
It started with bamboo.
Birch wasn't the first thing that came to mind, okay?
Coppola toward left field.
All right, we're going on the 8th.
No runs. No hits. Single game tickets are now available. You can get your tickets for opening day, the Yankees series. We will see the Yankees during the regular season, plus other marquee matchups at Citizens Bank Park. Go to 215 or call 215-463-5000 or go to Phillies.com. All right, Ben, I'm getting text messages about bamboo bats, just so you know.
Okay.
We'll have to research that after the game. Mike McConey, who's our official scorer back home in Philadelphia, who is in his 60s but still can hit a baseball farther than we can. Bamboo bats are just as hard as maple. Not kidding. Seen them in use. All right, so let's not sell the bamboo family short. I still think it's something that George would bring up on Seinfeld. All right, we go to the 8th.
I watched the one last night where George, he brings in the calzone for Mr. Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
And then Kramer puts his jacket in the oven and he smells. Oh, it was hilarious. I've seen that a million times and it's still funny.
Luis Garcia will take over out on the mound for the Phils. Higashioka, who singled his first time up and then scored a run, takes another fastball down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Talking to Gabe Kapler the other day, we were talking about leaders in the clubhouse. They really think that Carlos Santana is going to be not only a leader by example, but just a leader overall, taking a lot of the Latin players under his wing, but even other players. As that ball is roped to deep left field over the head of McBride. And Higashioka will pull into second base with a stand-up double. But we were talking to him about some of the other players who possibly could be leaders, and Hector Neris' name came up, which doesn't surprise us at all. And Luis Garcia's name came up as well. Luis has been through so much to get to the big leagues, out of baseball for a couple of years, even before he made it to the majors, and then eventually made it up here, but even had some ups and downs.
Oh, he was on the shuttle. Back and forth, and last year he really figured it out.
Jace Peterson will be the hitter with a runner at second base here in the top of the 8th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Tapper foul.
Come on, Reg, you got to make that play.
Mr. October was using the wrong hand on that one. Oh, man, he didn't realize the net was up. He just threw it into the stands and it bounced back off the net. All right, we can't laugh at Mr. October. Ben, do not laugh at Reggie Jackson.
I wasn't.
Yes,
Said
you
he
were.
needed to make the play.
1 ball and 1 strike. In the dirt.
Good play, Cameron.
Here we go. People helping people.
There you go.
Must be cool to see him around camp, huh?
It is. Very much so. I saw him in the weight room at the hotel we stayed at in New York a couple years ago.
Really?
I looked over. I said, "It's Reggie Jackson."
2-1 pitch, bounce foul.
That's a great nickname, though, huh?
Mr. October.
I mean,
Three balls and 2 strikes to Jace Peterson. Inside ball 4. So runners on first and second. There's Mr. Spring Training, Chris Wheeler. Total concentration. 47th year for Wheels.
Marple Newtown's finest.
That's right. Somewhere he's saying to somebody, why don't they just keep me out of their shtick?
You do give him a hard time.
Oh, it's all in love. Avelino takes down low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. All right, Garcia trying to find the strike zone here. Figure it's got to be a fastball just to kind of get that on track, right?
Yeah. Though he struggled with location on his fastball as well. It looks like he's struggling with his release point. He's missing high. He's missing low. He's yanked a few balls down and away to righties.
Down low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And now Rupp is out to chat with Luis Garcia. Wonder if they're going to enforce the trips to the mound here in spring training like that. That's number 1. Line drive to center field. DePolo will field it on a hop. Now the bases are going to be loaded as that ball hops off the mounds. So 2 hits and a walk. And the Yankees have them loaded.
That ball was smoked.
Yeah, Jeff Hendricks will now come up. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Phillies do have bullpen action up. Sir Anthony Dominguez is warming up in the bullpen.
I was thinking about last night with this whole, the 6 visits. If you have to go out to the mound if you think that runner on second base is giving signs, so you're going to have a second set of signs for each pitcher. So you don't have to waste a visit just to go out there and say, all right, we're going to go sign after 2, or we're going to go outs +1, or whatever. So that's going to be 13 guys possibly if you carry 8 in the bullpen, then 5 starters. 13 guys, you have to remember what their secondary sign is going to be. That's a lot on a catcher.
But you can go out if you get crossed up. So could you deem that? to somebody as that one is smoked the opposite way. A base hit. 1 run is in. And that's it that will score. Jace Peterson holds up at third. It's now 7-3 Yankees.
You can go out if you get crossed up.
Yeah.
That doesn't count as a visit.
Does not count as a visit.
But that's a whole different thing then.
Right, but you can say, I mean, what I'm saying is that you can say to the umpire, well, I guess you'd have to say to him it would be after the first pitch. Yeah. All right, so Rick Kranitz is out to the mound. We're down to 4 visits left for the Phillies pitchers. Our first visit with Rick. Tom Hallion. He's marking it off. Somebody's going to be in charge of keeping tabs of that, too, in each dugout. So the bases remain loaded. Rashad Crawford, who struck out looking his first time up, will be the hitter.
But it's going to be obvious if you get crossed up.
Absolutely.
From a catcher standpoint, or the umpire would have to notice that. You just can't say, oh, I got crossed up. You catch it cleanly.
Crawford out in left field. And he hits this one toward left center field. Coppola will settle under it. Peterson tags from third. The throw goes to third. And it's a sacrifice fly. Another run is in. And 1 man down here in the 8th. It's 8-3 Yankees. And we head back to the top of the order for the Yanks. And Florial, who struck out in the 6th inning, will be the batter. Dominguez continues to loosen up. This might be 2. Tough hop. Kingree's exchange. And boy, oh boy. Florial was moving up the line. They do get the middle runner. But out goes 4-6, second base.
Ness just struggles with that exchange, getting it to Kingery. But a good firm throw on the first base.
Yeah, the hop was happened a little closer to him.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw Kingery's arm right there. I mean, he can get rid of it with good hands. Kyle Holder's the batter. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Heard Rick Kranitz yell out, very nice. So that means they're going to the secondary pitches for Garcia. So he liked the placement of that one. Not as much movement in the glove for Luis.
No.
Pola out in center field. He's under it. And that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. Couple runs do score. An RBI single and a sacrifice fly. Middle of the 8th inning. Phillies down by 5 to the Yankees.
To help you navigate everything that winter dishes out, and for more traction and superior handling on...
Will be the new pitcher for the Yankees. 27 games last year, an ERA of 1.09. And he will face Logan Moore. First pitch fastball, and it's in there. 26-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, who last year was at 3 different levels: high A, low A, and double A, with an ERA of 1.09. Facing Logan Moore. Logan was at AAA last year. Without seeing him on an everyday basis, we just look at the reports, and you saw he hit .233 with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. Has great ability behind the plate. From a defensive standpoint, former 9th round pick out of Loveland, Colorado. And he is down on strikes on 3 pitches. 1 away here in the 8th inning. Are you an authentic Phillies fan? Well, show us. Use hashtag AuthenticFan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Show us your Phillies flair, where you're streaming, or your Phillies fan cave. Authentic Fan Days are coming as we get home for the beginning of the season. Meneses, who's up for the first time. Yankees pitchers have allowed only 4 hits today. 3 runs on 4 hits. Well, this guy's got a pretty good slider going, doesn't he?
Tight.
That's a spinner off the mounds. Well, there are 2 outs. Kyle Holder makes a nice play staying with that. Ball not hit that sharply. And that'll bring Kingery up.
A heck of a play. Field gets a little beat up, especially that sun beating down on it all afternoon.
So now Kingery, who struck out his first time up. Scott Kingery, who prior to last season played in the Arizona Fall League. He was a teammate of Tim Tebow, but also there were a lot of Yankee players that were part of that Arizona Fall League team. So Reggie Jackson was in Arizona a lot. Now Reggie's an Arizona State guy. Kingery is an Arizona guy. But they got to chat from time to time about hitting. And while Reggie was helping the Yankee prospects, he was also talking to Kingery a little bit too. Reggie's around a lot.
He
goes throughout the Yankees farm system. Folks in Trenton say he's there an awful lot, and they said he cannot be nicer. He's always signing autographs. It's nice that he's able to stay in the game, even in the kind of role he's in now. 2-2.
Being in that clubhouse for a couple springs, you never knew who you were going to run into.
In the dirt, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And ball 4. So Kingery draws a walk. And Cameron Rupp will get a chance to bat. He flied out to right field his only time up.
Catcher Cameron Rupp.
Bouncing ball foul past Dusty Wathan. Mentioned that Dusty is taking over as the third base coach for the Phillies this year. There is Dusty. And Jose Flores is the new first base coach. Dusty is going to be working with guys like Cameron Rupp, Jorge Alfaro, Andrew Knapp, the catchers that are going to be up with the big leagues this year. And he'll be doing that throughout spring training. It's nice when you have a coach that can be versatile and handle, some of the positions that maybe some of the other coaches cannot. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cameron. Now 3-1. It was 92.
See, that's the swing I'm talking about. It's just too hard. You should not have 92 thrown by you. 3-1 count. You know what you're getting. It's a little bit easier. Just think, use your hands. Use your hands.
Cutter goes. Ball is fouled back, so we'll start it over again. Kingery will come back. Kingery takes off again and fouls it off again. So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matt McBride waits on deck. Yankees started Jordan Montgomery today. Last year they used 11 starters, with Luis Severino and CC Sabathia winning 14 games apiece. Again, that one fouled off. It should find the seats. It does after a kangaroo off the dugout. I think the guy tomorrow that pitches for the Yankees against the Phillies can possibly be a key. I mean, if he can ever stay healthy, Sonny Gray. He has some good stuff.
It was a huge pickup for them last year.
I agree.
Them in the playoffs.
Okay.
And a fastball, strike 3 called. So Rupp down looking. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left for the Phillies. We'll move on to the top of the 9th inning. Yankees up 8-3. Before taking over as the manager of the Phillies, the other changes around baseball: Dave Martinez gets his first chance. Mickey Callaway the same, former pitching coach for the Indians. Alex Cora is now the skipper for the Red Sox, and Ron Gardenhire back, and we will see him Tuesday. He is the new manager of the Detroit Tigers.
It's been a minute for him, hasn't it?
Yeah. There's Gabe sitting with Rob Thompson. Thompson has spent nearly 3 decades with the Yankees organization. Sir Anthony Dominguez will take over. But I think when you look at those new managers, you see, obviously, the Tigers go with the seasoned guy in Ron Gardenhire. But just about everybody else goes with a fresh face. And some who have had major league experience, others who have not.
And some who have had great tutelage under other managers.
Right.
Being bench coaches.
Yeah, Aaron Boone, obviously no major league coaching experience. Gabe Kapler in the Dodgers organization, managed in the Red Sox organization for a year, but no major league experience except as a player. I think that's how baseball has changed so much over the years. Dominguez will face Ryan McBroom to start things off here in the top of the 9th inning.
97.
Dominguez is a 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic who last year pitched here in Clearwater, and in 13 starts and an ERA of 3.61. Was in the winter leagues in the Dominican and pitched in 7 games. Did you ever play winter league baseball?
I did not.
Did they ever ask you to play?
No. I played in the Fall League one year, the Arizona Fall League, which was a lot of fun.
That's because you played with Glenn.
Glenn was on my team, my brother.
High chopper out to third. And 1 away.
The Scottsdale Scorpions.
And now Francisco Diaz, who struck out his last time up. Ball and no strikes. Cameron Rupp just asked Tom Hagen if he wanted to change the baseball out, and he said no. Well, he does have some life, doesn't he?
He sure does. Took that one out of Cameron's mitt.
Yeah, and that was contact, obviously, by Diaz, but it was late because that ball was on him. See if he comes back with another fastball here.
Trying to elevate. Oh, my Lord. Ooh. That's why it's there.
And if it wasn't, they wouldn't be.
No.
Man, that is scary how fast that ball got on them.
Man.
This is why it's good that there's a lot more netting around the field here, but even beyond, up in the big leagues, too. 2-2.
All up above the dugouts now, all the way down the length of the dugout.
And we're looking through it where we are, as the fans would be, as Diaz strikes out. There are 2 outs. And it does not impede any of your vision.
No.
Catcher Kyle Higashioka.
Well, Kyle Higashioka is 2 for 2. He has singled and scored. He's doubled and scored. Oh, and 1.
I came out to talk to a couple members of the Yankees today, and Rob Thompson came out as well, and there was all of a sudden there was a whole caravan of Yankees walking over to say hello to Rob, and he talked to him for a good amount of time.
I thought his comments, I don't know if you saw any of the stories on him that were in the papers today or on the websites today. I thought his comments about Aaron Boone and his hire, I thought they were excellent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a finalist for the Yankee job, Rob was, after almost 3 decades of being with the organization. And he said, listen, Brian, and he complimented Brian Cashman, the GM, who he's known forever. And he said, Aaron Boone was what the Yankees were looking for, and he is a better fit than me for what they're looking for.
Right.
I mean, really, his comments were excellent.
Yeah, very gracious.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, what he meant to that organization and all the success they've had over the years, he's a big part of it.
1-2.
Trainer Stevie Donahue and Gene Monahan, they all came up to him, and I mean, it was literally carrying his way after the decks, going up and saying hello.
It wasn't for you?
No.
Oh.
No.
Cameron's reaction behind home plate. I think he felt like that was a pretty good pitch.
Yeah.
went down and got that one. So it's a 3-hit day.
And all balls that were cooked. He had a bullet to left for a single, bullet to left off the wall for a double, and then this one up the middle. Nice piece of hitting there.
So now Jace Peterson. One ball and 2 strikes. Off the glove of Rupp. I think that would be a pass ball.
Yep.
Two pitch is cut on and missed. That was a 96-mile-an-hour sinker. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. Last chance for the Phillies. Yankees starting pitcher Jordan Montgomery with the first 2, allowed 1 hit, was impressive, struck out 2. Justice Sheffield allowed 3 earned runs an inning and 2/3. And Giovanni Gallegos will be the new pitcher for the Yankees as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The ERA of 4.87.
Now pitching for the Yankees, number 62, Giovanni Gallegos.
Saw Gallegos' numbers. And Matt McBride will be the leadoff hitter for the Phillies. Gallegos is from Mexico. He's a 26-year-old who has been with the Yankees organization his entire career. He did pitch in the big leagues last year for 16 games out of the bullpen. McBride has struck out his first time up.
Come back.
Balls and no strikes. Gallegos has already pitched in 1 game for the Yankees. He struck out 2 the other day. Faced 5 hitters. Struck out 2, walked 1. Three balls, no strikes to McBride. And ball 4. So he walks him on 4 pitches. And that'll give Mitch Walding a chance to bat. At the knees to Walding. We mentioned last year Walding hit 25 home runs. It was quite a jump from the year before when he had 13. That had been his career high. I think the hope is that he can continue to provide that kind of power. On the outside corner, 0-2. He's down on 3 pitches.
Filthy.
Yep. Amazing how he found his command on that particular at bat, but didn't have it at all in the McBride at bat.
Sometimes it just takes one pitch to get you back in the groove. It's just straight overhand curveball or splitter.
I thought it was a curveball.
That's what I thought.
Here's Eleazar Alvarez, 23-year-old from the Dominican Republic, who last year was with the Cardinals organization. He is 0 for 2 in this spring. .248 last year with the Cardinals system, 5 home runs. Outside. Two. It's 95. His fastball's heating up a little bit.
And he threw 2 right by him. Go back to it, or saw that good curveball to Walding, last hitter.
It was
like a cutter
soft,
there.
Yeah. They're hunting for something. Okay, he goes pitch for Mexico in the World Baseball Classic last year. Made his major league debut on May 11th of last season. And he picks up another strikeout, back-to-back Ks.
Some big swings there by Alvarez. This is just too hard. Let's just buy him. Pulls his head off. It's a big hack.
Colin Cowgill. Phillies have struck out 11 times here this afternoon. That is one big swing. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Well, he has definitely found the strike zone.
He's dialed in now.
Yes, he is. Oh, and 2. the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not a safe situation, of course, but during the regular season, the Yankees have David Robertson, Aroldis Chapman. They've got a pretty good back end of the bullpen.
Green's nasty.
Green is nasty. Got him. High fastball. That's a dozen strikeouts today for Yankees pitching as the Phillies go down quietly in their half of the 9th inning. Phils did not manage a hit since the 5th inning in today's ball game, and the Yankees take this one by a final score of 8-3. The Yankees are now 3-0 in spring training games. So 8-3 the final score. We'll be back to Clearwater to wrap things up right after this.
Welcome home your favorite Phillies at Nemours opening day with free knit hats for all fans. April 5th at 3:05 against the Marlins. Order now. Great players, great plays, plus a great deal. Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, Tuesday, April 10th at 7:05 against the Reds. Order now.
This isn't just something we decide. This is something our fathers did, and our fathers' fathers did. It's a birthright. Philadelphians can sniff out a phony like that. Trust me, we will never tolerate bandwagon phoniness. I mean, you think this comes overnight? This type of fan doesn't come overnight. You have to go through it. We've experienced a lot of downs as a fan base. And yeah, it's just like Rocky. We've hit the mat, but we always stand back up. That takes an authentic fan.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you by Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Let's go places. By Xfinity, America's best internet service provider, according to speedtest.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Final score here this afternoon. It's the Yankees 8 and the Phillies 3. Montgomery gets the win. Aaron Nola suffered the loss. Eddie Espinosa had a 3-run double. That fueled the first inning where the Yankees jumped out to the lead and never looked back. Maikel Franco, though, did have a 2-run home run today. Our next telecast will be Tuesday afternoon when the Phillies return to Spectrum Field. The Tigers are in town. 1 o'clock on NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus, or streaming on your device with the NBC Sports app. The studio producer of Phil's Baseball, Jeff Halleckman. John DeSangro is our associate producer. And today's director was Nick Marquetta. For Ben Davis, Greg Murphy, and our entire crew, I'm Tom McCarthy. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Have a great afternoon.